Most people say they want financial freedom, but what they really want is relief from fear. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing status, fear of falling behind. And that fear is exactly what keeps them enslaved. Today on Stoic Gateway, we're breaking the illusion because Stoicism teaches something radical. Financial freedom does not begin in your bank account. It begins in your mind. The Roman philosopher Seneca was one of the wealthiest men in Rome. Yet he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Read that slowly. Craves more. In a world obsessed with upgrades, promotions, and flex culture, craving has become normal. But the Stoics saw craving as a weakness. Because if your happiness depends on more, you will never have enough. True wealth, according to Stoicism, is reducing your dependency on external things. That includes money. Now understand this clearly. Stoicism is not anti-wealth. In fact, Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, ruled the most powerful empire on earth. He had access to unlimited resources. And yet he wrote in his private journal, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. Very little is needed." That sentence alone destroys modern consumer culture, because financial freedom is not about earning millions. It's about needing less. The less you need, the less you fear losing. And the less you fear losing, the freer you become. Let's make this practical. Here are 3 Stoic principles that quietly build financial freedom. First, control your desires before you chase income. Most people try to increase earnings without mastering impulses. They earn more and spend more. They upgrade their lifestyle and upgrade their stress. But the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Few wants. If your wants are unlimited, your financial anxiety will be unlimited. But if your wants are disciplined, even moderate income creates peace. Second, practice voluntary discomfort. Seneca recommended occasionally living as if you were poor, eating simple food, wearing basic clothes, even if you were rich. Why? To train the mind not to panic at loss. Ask yourself, if your income dropped 50%, would you collapse or adapt? Financial freedom grows when you prove to yourself that you can survive with less. Because fear disappears when you rehearse hardship. This is psychological armor. And armor creates confidence. Third, focus only on what you control. Markets crash, inflation rises, jobs disappear. You cannot control the economy, but you can control your discipline, your savings habits, your skill development, your emotional reactions. Epictetus reminded us, some things are in our control and others not. If your peace depends on the stock market behaving perfectly, you will suffer. But if your peace depends on your character, you are untouchable. That is Stoic financial power. Here's the paradox no one talks about. When you stop emotionally chasing money, you make better financial decisions. You invest patiently. You spend intentionally. You avoid ego-driven purchases. You think long-term. Calm minds build wealth faster than desperate ones. Stoicism removes the desperation. It replaces it with discipline. And discipline compounds. So what is real financial freedom? It is the ability to lose money without losing yourself. It is the power to say no to status games. It is the discipline to live below your means. It is emotional independence from numbers on a screen. Because if your identity is tied to your income, you are fragile. But if your identity is tied to your character, you are sovereign. And sovereignty is the highest form of wealth. Let me leave you with this. If everything collapsed tomorrow, would you still respect yourself? If the answer is yes, you are already rich. If not, start building inner wealth before chasing outer wealth. Because money without discipline creates anxiety, but discipline without money still creates peace. And from peace, true prosperity grows. If this changed your perspective on wealth, then you're thinking differently from the crowd, and that's exactly the path of a Stoic. Subscribe to Stoic Gateway for weekly mastery of mind, discipline, and modern power through ancient wisdom. Like this video to push philosophy back into the algorithm. And comment below, is financial freedom about money or about control? I want to hear your thought. I read every comment, and I'll see you in the next lesson.